Hello, I'm Sean, and welcome to MeowTube 1289's dark horror and mysterious stories. On this channel, I upload 2 to 3 times a week, bringing you mysterious but absolutely true stories from around the world. So grab yourself a cup of tea or coffee, settle in, and let's uncover the darkness hiding beneath the surface. In 1310, a woman named Marguerite Porete was taken to a stake in the center of Paris. A crowd watched as she was condemned as a heretic. She was burned after she refused to submit or take back her words. Her crime was writing a book. Marguerite Porete came from the county of Hainaut, in what is now Belgium. No one knows her exact birth year, but it is usually placed in the mid-1200s. Very little about her early life is certain. She joined the Beguines. They were women who chose a spiritual life without the usual monastic vows. They often lived in small communities and supported themselves through work. The Beguines lived with a level of independence. Many served the poor, prayed together, and tried to draw closer to God outside strict church structures. To some church leaders, women doing this without direct clerical control could feel threatening. Marguerite took that freedom further than most. Sometime in the late 1200s, she wrote a mystical book called The Mirror of Simple Souls. It is written as a conversation between allegorical figures, love, reason, and the soul. It describes 7 stages of spiritual change. At the center of the book is a bold idea. A soul, she says, can become so united with divine love that it no longer needs the church's rituals, rules, or intermediaries in the same way. In the highest union, the soul gives up its own will to God completely, and in that surrender, it finds perfect freedom. Love is God, she wrote, and God is love. She did not write in Latin, the language of the clergy and scholars. She wrote in Old French, the language ordinary people could understand. That meant her ideas could travel beyond monasteries and beyond the usual channels of control. And they did. Between 1296 and 1306, the Bishop of Cambrai condemned her book as heretical. He ordered it burned publicly in the marketplace of Valenciennes. He also ordered Marguerite never to share it again. She refused. Marguerite believed her book carried divine truth. She said she had consulted respected theologians before sharing it, including the Master of Theology Godfrey of Fontaines. Whatever support she believed she had, she would not let one bishop silence her. She kept sharing her book. She kept insisting that the soul's bond with God did not belong to any earthly institution. In 1308, she was arrested. She was handed to the Inquisitor of France, a Dominican friar named William of Paris. He was also confessor to King Philip IV, the same king who was moving against the Knights Templar at the time. Marguerite was imprisoned in Paris for 18 months. During that time, she refused to speak to her inquisitors. She would not take the oath required to proceed with the trial, and she would not answer questions. Her silence was not passive. It was an act of defiance, and it enraged the authorities. A commission of 21 theologians from the University of Paris examined her book. They pulled out 15 statements they judged to be heretical. One of the most alarming was the claim that a soul fully united with God could give nature what it desires without sin, because such a soul was no longer capable of sin. To the church, that sounded like a moral disorder. To Marguerite, it described the freedom that comes from perfect surrender. She was offered many chances to recant. Others saved their lives by admitting error. A man arrested alongside her, Gaillard de Cressenesset, first claimed he was her defender, then later recanted and was sentenced to life imprisonment. Marguerite did not bend. On May 31, 1310, William of Paris declared her a heretic again after she had already been warned. He turned her over to secular authorities. The next day, June 1, she was led to the Place de Grève, the square used for public executions. The Inquisitor denounced her as a pseudo-mulier, a fake woman, as if no real woman could defy the church that way. Then they burned her alive. But something unexpected happened in the crowd. A chronicle linked to Guillaume de Nangis, a monk who did not support her ideas, says the crowd was moved to tears by how calm she was. The chronicle says she showed signs of penitence that appeared noble and pious. Her serenity unsettled people who expected a screaming heretic. Instead, they saw a woman who seemed to have already risen above the fire that would consume her. Authorities ordered copies of the Mirror of Simple Souls destroyed. They wanted her words erased along with her life. They did not succeed. Her book survived. It circulated in secret, passed from hand to hand across Europe. It was translated into Latin, Italian, and Middle English. For centuries, it was read without her name. It was even credited to other writers. The text was too powerful to disappear, even when the author was hidden. In 1946, more than 600 years after her death, a scholar named Romana Guarnieri studied manuscripts in the Vatican Library. She connected the Mirror of Simple Souls to Marguerite Porete. The woman the church tried to erase finally had her name returned. Today, Marguerite Porete is seen as one of the most important mystics of the medieval period. Scholars often compare her to Meister Eckhart. People still debate what influence, if any, her work had on later writers. Her ideas were condemned, but they did not vanish. She wrote about love that could outgrow fear. She wrote about surrender that could lead to freedom. Marguerite spent her final months in silence, refusing to answer those who demanded she deny what she believed. But her book has been speaking for 7 centuries. It is still speaking now. If you like this video, make sure to like, share, subscribe and hit the bell icon for notifications when new videos are uploaded.